most complex planet of them all, Nauvis. And this is where I'm going to spend a few extra minutes figuring out what to do. So, in order to get to Vulcanus, we're going to need all of this research to be completed. So, space platform thrusters, space platform thrusters, definitely. Space platform thrusters. It's going to take space science. So we're going to have a space platform up and running by the time we get any of these researches done. So, yeah. So at the end of Nauvis is going to be space. Just thrusters. Thrusters. This is going to be easier to find because it's the only thrusters we need to worry about. Rocket silo happens at the blue science level, so that's nice. So the whole point in Nauvis is to research up to Vulcanus, and then, yeah. Actually, yeah, thruster, I guess we could just put Vulcanus in here. Research detect tree all the way up to Vulcanus, and then we can unlock these two as and when. They only cost 1,000 science each, and Nauvis should be perfectly capable of handling that whenever. And then, yeah, I have to remember, of course, that Vulcanus also unlocks a few of the other things, like these two. So I want to do those either after cold liquefaction or... No, that's it. It'll have to be after cold liquefaction. We'll put those in there. So yeah, that's a thing. I'll look into that branch in a minute. Just want to see what I need to get here. Do I need trains, for example? Because they're kind of... No, don't need trains. They're going to be a side track. Honestly, puns are easy when they lay them down for you. Just like, never mind. I'll stop now. It's fine. So yeah, rocket silo again just needs concrete, low density. So we're gonna need blue science, which is, what's the actual name for it? Chemical science. I mean, okay, blue science. So Vulcanus goes at the end, and we put blue science here. So as soon as we've got that blue science tech tree, we blitz up all the way to, well, robotics, with a quick sidestep into construction robotics, because it only costs us 100 research. Honestly, robots are cheap. Robots are very cheap. We can get there very quickly. Goodness me. I need to be capable of producing maybe 500 science packs to get here. I want to do the maths on that, because that is quick. Okay, anyway, back to, where were we? Rocket silo. Yeah, so getting logistics robots will be required for the rocket silo. Concrete. Yeah, all of these. The processing units are going to be tricky. This is the one I'm worried about, because it requires so much infrastructure to get to a standard that can actually keep the rocket silo up and running. And combined with low density structures, I mean, the amount of copper that this thing requires, like, look at this. Does it tell you what the total raw is? No. Oh, that's unhelpful. It's a lot. It's a lot. For one of these, it takes 20 copper plates, right? And it takes 50 of these low density structures to launch a rocket, without any productivity module in, of course. but it also takes the same number of processing units, and each of these take 20 electronic circuits, which, as we know, take 1.5 copper plates each. So that's 30 copper plates, and then 2 red circuits as well on top of that, which, by the way, take another 2. So that's about 35 copper plates for one of these, and we have to times that by 50. You can see how it adds up pretty quickly. So yeah, anything we can do to reduce the cost of the rocket launching is going to help us. I'll definitely be using prod mods to speed up. It's counterintuitive because prod mods actually slow down the facility that they're put into, but in the long run it speeds up everything because you need less resources and you end up with less chance of a throughput issue or a resource input issue slowing you down like that. So yeah, it's a balancing act. Definitely use prod mods when you can, especially in a run like this where speed is everything. I could put beacons around it, but that again, I think that's under utility science or something. So yeah, that's a long way off. It's not going to happen at the start. Concrete, LDS, yeah. So on Nauvis, obviously we want to get to the rocket silo as soon as possible. So that'll be immediately after blue science. I need to leave this here. I'll do that from now on. Immediately after blue science, go for rocket silo, except do a slight detour onto construction robotics first. And then rocket silo. Because, I mean, speed run without construction robots you can forget. I mean, I keep saying speed run. It's not. It really isn't. People have completed the entire game in, I don't know, 8 hours or something. Crazy like that. I mean, come on. I can barely launch a rocket in 8 hours. Rocket silo, blue science. So what do we need to get here? All of that. We need to get oil processing up and running pretty quickly. Red and green science. But before we do that, we need to go, after green science, we need to go straight to rails. And I might put fluid wagon in there. And we definitely want this. If we've got rails and we're going to use rails, which I will be because there's copper fields out to the, oh, you can't see them on this map, but they were out here somewhere. Definitely going to come in handy. So yeah, definitely get to railway as soon as possible. So for the getting on track like a pro achievement, we need to do 75, 175, 375, 425, 520 science. That's not that much, but we need to do 520 science within, let's call it 1 hour, to give us half an hour to get a train put together. Maybe an hour and 15 minutes, because it shouldn't take more than 15 minutes to build a train. Remember that we have to make enough engines to build a train, and they take time as well. So it's 20 engines. 20 engines takes 10 seconds per engine. So, you know, having 20 engines, it's going to take a minute. And then crafting that, and then obviously we need rails as well. So yeah, things to work out for the speed run at the very start. It's gonna be nice and fun, but we don't need blue science for the train, so we put railway in front of blue science. Railway and then plus signals and tank. What's that research called? Fluid. Spirit wagon. Okay, that's it. That's the plan. Nauvis Tech Tree, get to railways. Then get to construction robots. Then get to Vulcanus Tech. Simple as that. After Vulcanus Tech, we do coal liquefaction, asteroid reprocessing, cliff explosives or artillery in whichever order, and we head straight to Gleba. So maybe once we get Vulcanus Tech, I research Gleba Tech. Hang on, no, maybe not. Let's just check that again. So to get to Vulcanus, we're going to need this. Oh no, it's fine. Yeah. Okay. So once we do Vulcanus Tech, we do all the planet techs. Into Gleba Tech, into Fulgora. And then once we're on Vulcanus with the metallurgic science packs, we can do all of this. All of this. So I need to actually put metallurgic science here. Metal dot science into colon. Yeah, there we go. Red and green science at the start of the game. I mean, that's a given. I don't need to write that down because I'm pretty sure I know that I need to do those, especially if I want to get to railway anyway. Yeah, it's going to be a rush to railway, then bots, and then do the rest. Yes. And then I obviously need to worry about biters. So it's all well and good getting the science for the railways up and running, which, as you can see, has absolutely nothing to do with the military side of this game. I'm going to need to deal with biters in this run, so I can't just ignore that side of the tech tree. So at some point I need to go gun turrets and military science, and I need to go on an aside in that. So actually I need to plan out when I'm going to go for this. It's going to have to be after getting on track, for sure. This is anything after this point is way beyond getting on track like a pro. So we'll skip that. This, on the other hand, only costs 20 science to unlock. And it gives us stronger explosives. Is it really worth it? Piercing ammo costs it basically 10, I think, 10 iron plates a piece, because one steel plate it takes 5. One steel plate takes 5 iron. Oh, they've already got it calculated. No, they haven't. So that's actually 13 iron. 13 iron and 2 copper. 13 iron and 2 copper for 2 piercing round magazines. And how many shots do you get in a magazine? Now there's a question. How do I shoot this? 10. 10 rounds. Okay. 10 rounds in a magazine. I'm assuming that's the same for the piercing magazines. I've never actually tested that theory, so I'm just going to go with that. Oh, it even says in there, magazine size 10. Helps if I read it. There, see? Magazine size 10. The same for the yellow ones. Honestly. This game is so good, they give you all the information. It's so much information that you skip over it. But it's fine. So, for 10 piercing shots, which do 8 physical damage per shot. So 8 physical damage per shot costs you 13 iron and 2 copper. Whereas 5 damage per shot, so that's an increase of 3 damage per shot at the base rates anyway. Gives you, it only costs 4 iron plates divided by 10. So yeah, we're definitely going to stick with yellow ammo to prevent us having to rebuild iron. So again, it's more efficient to actually use yellow ammo than it is any other kind of ammo to kill biters. I'm assuming these cost, yeah, these cost so much. They do have 24 physical base damage, and remember that gets multiplied by turrets. So that is something to think about. The base multiplier on the damage once we've done a bit of research. But at the beginning of the game, we won't have those multipliers. We just got to deal with the basics. Yes, to get here and having physical projectile damage 1, which does cost us 100 science, by the way, does give us that 20% boost, which will save us a decent chunk. That's also 20%. And then we get into the military science side of things. So again, I'll put physical projectile damage 2 on the back burner until we get railways complete. That can go in here, and then we do damage 2 while we wait for blue science. pH damage L2 while we wait for blue science. Construction robots. I think we need military science to get the rocket silo operational. So once we've got construction robots, I do a diversion into military science. Hang on, where is my tech tree? Too many branches. Too many branches. Too many branches. So to get to the silo, where are you, silo? Doesn't exist. Okay. You know what? This will be faster. I should have done this from the start. There we go. Do we need military science to get rockets up and running? The answer is no. So the question is, can we survive long enough to get rockets going without getting sidetracked into military science? And honestly, my answer to that is I don't know. What does military science actually give us? Can't build laser turrets. Got a restriction on those. It gives us flamethrower turrets. So we might need to do a sidetrack onto flamethrowers, which don't cost a lot of science, by the way. Only 50. So if we stock up 50 black science in one assembling machine with a chest buffer, and then we can blitz that out. And that only costs 30 science. Yeah, so having one military science pack producer is plenty to get us off the planet, for sure. I mean, how long does it take to make one of these? 30 seconds. No, hang on. How long does it take to make one of these? 10 seconds. For 2. So actually only 5 seconds. So for 50 of those, 50 times 5 would be 250 seconds. 250 seconds for enough science packs to get flamethrower. That's pretty quick. And that's only in one assembling machine. Remember, we have a crafting speed of 0.75, so that's actually 300 seconds, which is 5 minutes. It's not nothing. It's not nothing, but it's pretty quick. So we can divert to flamethrowers to save us a little bit of iron once, but it's only worth doing once we get oil anyway. Robots into military with flamethrowers and then build defenses. Yep. And don't get sidetracked by landmines because they won't help me. They might help me, but I've never used them, so I don't know how helpful they really are. They don't cost much to make, to be fair. Only a bunch of sidetracking. Okay, yeah, don't get sidetracked. Too many different routes to take. Obviously, we will need to do repair pack. We just will. Fast inserter, what does that get us? Oh yeah, we definitely want to get to bulk inserters. We definitely want to get to bulk inserters, but that's quite far down the route. I'm going to skip bulk inserters until we've got a rocket. Ooh, so many things to think about. So many things to think about. Bulk inserters won't be available on the first rocket to Vulcanus. I mean, these bits of mini science are going to cost us nothing by the time we get that far up the tech tree. But doing all that sidetracking is dangerous for the run. So yeah, like I said, we want stack inserters at some point. So we will want to carry bulk inserters up with us. So I definitely want to think about where I put these. But yeah, we want fast inserters pretty soon into the run. Again, they only cost 30 science. We're going to need logistics anyway. Could do all of this bits of research while I'm setting up the green science packs for trains. Well, I don't know. It's probably safer to get trains and then worry about all those excess things. But then I want to already be working towards robots, so do I rush for robots and then worry about fast inserters? No, I want definitely fast inserters as soon as I possibly can. Repair packs can come a bit later, but I mean, I don't need... this is going to kill me, but I don't need repair packs until I've got robots. I'm going to say that. I'm just going to go with that strategy. I did say Nauvis was going to be the most complicated. This one we will need in order to get to concrete, but again, this isn't helpful for the trains, so everything up to railway. Sidetracking only for military, so we need gun turret. The early game is the one I need to really worry about. So all of this is after getting on track like a pro. I'll just give some space on that. And all of this is before getting on track like a pro. Why did that? Oh, I see. That one. I'll go away. Railway signals, fluid wagon. Ooh, what to do? Bear with me here, guys. I'm running on empty. We got physical projectile damage 1, which I definitely want to get to before the second biter attack. And that's going to cost us 100 and then science on its own. So we do that. pH damage 1 at some point. I'm going to put space in here. pH damage 2 will double the effect of pH damage 1. So that won't hurt, but it also costs double and green science packs. So I think I've got that after railway. Yeah, that's fine. pH damage 1 needs to be before because I need to deal with biters in the early game. And the less metal I need to spend on creating firearm magazines, the better for me in the early game. So yeah, getting that up and running quickly is going to be essential. Although I don't know if I've got time. I genuinely don't know if I've got time. I think I don't. I'm going to go with I don't have time for that. I definitely have time for military basic, but I think this actually goes away. And we just go straight to physical damage 2 once we've got the fluid wagons to save us metal after that point. Yeah, okay. Again, so easy to get sidetracked. Radars, for example, we can't do until I mean, again, it's cheap, but we can't do that until... In fact, I think I'm going to skip radar altogether, because they have a huge power drain which causes a decent amount of pollution, and they attract biters like nothing else does. So definitely skip that. Can't skip electric mining drills. Can we? Oh, we can technically, but we can't. Not if I'm trying to get anything done. And that's quite funny. Technically, we don't need mining drills until we get to Volcanus. In terms of the research tree, but I'm not going to be able to skip those. So where do I put them in? I've got to put electric mining drills in here somewhere. Because they're not on the essential route. So after this, logistics, fast inserters, gun turret. I think gun turret goes very early on as well. Logistics. The early game I want laid out perfectly, so I'm going to do this. I might even do this in a separate video, because I'm running over time. Anyway, fast inserters, I want those. Do I need them? Just because I want them? No, I will need them. So yeah, we get fast inserters. Mining drills, walls. We will want walls at some point, but is that before or after we get military science? I think I don't bother, because I might resort to using pipes, which admittedly uses iron, but we're saving so much iron on other things that I think it's gonna be fine to use pipes at the start. Yeah, gonna use a pipe wall to begin with. It's a neat trick that I saw somewhere at some point. Yeah, so walls come later. I think they come when we research military science, which I haven't decided where I'm putting that. I think after robots. Yep, definitely. We do it that way. Get to robots, do military science, and keep the game expanding after that. Pretend like I don't need military science on a run that's gonna be filled with biters. It's fine. Getting to robots and then flamethrowers makes sense because flamethrowers need oil anyway to run, so yeah, having robots which need oil from the red circuits. Do they? It's not the red circuits, it's the flying robot frames that need the... No? Green circuit? They take lubricant. Right, so we need lubricant. I see. Yeah. Advanced oil processing, which gives us lubricant unlock, and yeah, okay. But that's all under getting to construction robotics after blue science, right? Yeah. To get to blue science, those are the ones that take red circuits, and the red circuits take the oil production. Yeah. Okay. The first thing, always the first thing you research with chemical science is advanced oil processing, every time. Because it makes the rest of your chemical science packs immediately after you research this cost less oil. So definitely go for that. Advanced combinators I skip. Doesn't that need basic? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't get sidetracked. Okay. Electric mining, gun turret, logistics, fast inserter, and then what? Straight to railway. Yeah, that's it. Straight to railway. And then straight to physical damage. And then blue science. Cool. So we don't need to go crazy with our production scale at the start, and then we get robots, and once we've got robots we can expand at more than twice the rate, because robots can place things when I'm not looking. I think that's it in terms of the tech tree. Mining, turrets, logistics, fast inserters, railway signals, food wagon. Do I want military 1 after gun turret? Do I want military 1 after gun turret? The reason I'm asking is because submachine guns are good. Oh, and physical damage 1. I think I skip it. I just use gun turrets. Because I can't kill biter nests anyway. There's no point getting the rifle until I've got physical damage 2, which is here in the list. That means I can focus on railways. Yeah, this is definitely going to change the way I play. Now the question is, do I care about things like power armor? Which is one hell of a detour. It's one hell of a detour, but it gives you so much walking speed. And walking speed will speed things up. I just don't know if this... I think once we've launched a rocket, I get power armor. Yeah, I'm definitely going to rush rocket. All of this, and then power armor. And put that in brackets. Because even having power armor Mark 1 is going to be helpful. And that doesn't cost us any utility science packs. So there's that. Yeah, that Mark 2 recipe, 100 speed modules, that's way too expensive. How much does this cost? Yeah, basically, compared to the next level up, nothing. By the time we can produce a rocket silo, this is basically free. So as soon as we've produced the rocket silo, I can research power armor, and I'll be happy with that. So that's that. That's the plan on Nauvis. Okay, cool. Thank you for sticking with me until the end of that mess. Next, I'll be forming a strategy for Nauvis by figuring out how much science and rocket production I'll need, and then putting together some modular blueprints to help with the run. I'll see you on the flip side.